Hi everyone, this is Amari's Cozy Corner. Thanks for watching. This is going to be a review of not my first five-star book of the year, but my most recent five-star book. It's called I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200. The title originally is what got my attention. I have a local book club that is actually meeting at the end of the month to discuss this book, and I can't really wait. I'm so excited. I really, really enjoyed this book. I think I have recommended it to so many people at this point. It is a little dark. I do think it's qualified as horror, is what is categorized as. I didn't really think that it was horror until kind of towards the end, and then I was like, oh, I see it. I get it, you know? But basically, the story follows Ivan, who is an immigrant who's just trying to kind of make ends meet. He, door dashes and Ubers, and he's trying to get money where he can. But things still kind of aren't really working out for him. So he decides to post a Craigslist ad, basically just saying, I will kill your imaginary friend for $200. Now, Ivan's had a long standing history of being able to see people's imaginary friends and interact with them for a reason that they don't really tell you until later. Um, but because of that, he decides, adults don't really need imaginary friends. A lot of time that's something you develop as a kid, and when you grow up and still have them, they're more annoying than anything. So he decides he is going to be a good Samaritan and offer to kill adults' imaginary friends. The other perspective in this book is Kay, who I believe she's about 8 years old. She is dealing with being alone a lot of the time. She doesn't really have friends at school. Her mom is a nurse who's constantly picking up shifts and working all of the time. And so Kay develops an imaginary friend to keep out what she calls the quiet. Now, throughout this book, you have certain chapters that kind of go over other kids that you don't really meet in the story, but you meet and you learn about their imaginary friends as well. And you kind of learn, okay, not everyone's imaginary friend is good. So Ivan decides, throughout the book that he is going to help Kay get rid of her imaginary friend after she gets sent to the hospital by said imaginary friend. Now, this is all things that you learn from reading the description of the book. I don't want to spoil anything, but I do just kind of want to talk about why I gave it 5 stars. One being that I really liked the writing style. I thought that it was really quick paced. I felt like it was a really genuine voice, both for Ivan and for Kay. Kay being a younger kid, it's hard to write a kid's voice, I think, because as an adult, you kind of forget a lot of those feelings that you had, or maybe not forget them, but you have words for them now. You can describe them and you can tell people what you're feeling more clearly. Whereas Kay, being a younger child, doesn't always have words for what she's feeling. It kind of felt like, from her perspective, she had talked to an adult about these things, and the adult maybe transcribed or like reworded some of what she felt. There were different moments where I was like, I don't think this is really how a kid would word this. And then there were other moments where I felt like, oh, yes, absolutely. Like, there are a lot of big feelings that she can't describe, and this is the best way to put it, maybe, for her. When I first read this book, I originally gave it 4 stars. I didn't really care for the ending. Um, and then again, without spoiling anything, I kind of thought it over, and the ending started to make a little bit more sense to me, just being that Kay really had to kind of not face her fears, but like, well, yes, Kay really had to face her fears, and so did Ivan. He had to come to terms with um, things that he had done in his past, as well as dealing with other people's imaginary friends and how much stress that can be and how much that can really affect him. So it did end up being 5 stars for me in the end, and will definitely be a book that I reread in the future, just because I enjoyed it so much. And again, I thought the writing was amazing for it. So if you have time, I would definitely recommend trying to check it out on the Libby app, which you can use with your local library card, or checking it out from your local library. It was a really amazing book. I have recommended it to so many people, and I definitely recommend it for you. So if you like horror, if you think, imaginary friends or something that can be very interesting to read about, then you should definitely check it out.